Adrian, some advice. If you're going to do that flight, bring your girlfriend, see if she's got a little sister, because then you can take the HOV lane. There you go. Well, my routine is going to be about mannequins and shit, so you guys have covered all my material so far. Actually, like, my life, in addition to being a very fun drinking game, is also constantly weird shit is happening to me, or weird shit comes out of my mouth, because I had to adapt to my environment. And mainly also, though, it's genetic. I come from a very funny and strange family. My mom, she was better suited to be a straight man, because with all the weird shit that comes out of my mouth, she'd always set me up for stuff. It was hilarious. I mean, my all-time favorite was, I came out of the shower one time, I just got a towel wrapped around me, and Mom's like, Paul, come here a second. I'm like, well, what? I just got a towel. She's like, no, just come here 2 seconds. I'm like, okay, fine. So I come out and I'm talking to my mom and my dad, and apparently my dad doesn't have a lot of hair in his chest, but I've got quite a bit. So Mom's like looking at my dad, looking at me. All of a sudden she just has to be a smart ass, and she's like, your son's more of a man, he's got a hair in his chest, you don't. I couldn't stop myself. I'm like, does that mean I get it from your mom? Suffice to say, she was like, Paul! Which was the most often used expression in my household. My dad, on the other hand, a long line of smartasses. You know, you say something around my dad or his family, you'll get an answer, but it's not the answer you're expecting. Like, he worked at Rogers for a long time. Sorry to hear that. And at one point, a guy I went to elementary school with ended up getting a summer internship at Rogers. So at one point, he's like, you know, thinking about it, and Tumilty's not a very common name, so he's like, Tumilty, you've got a son named Paul and a daughter named Joanne. And my dad goes, I already know that. Again, the right answer, but not the one he's expecting. So, my all-time favorite, though, is, like I said, weird stuff happens to me all the time. And it's not to the point where when I tell friends stories about stuff that's happened on the weekend or whatever, the response is, only Paul. So, about 15 years ago, I decided with my ex-wife, we didn't want to have any more kids, we've got a beautiful son, so I went and decided to get a vasectomy. A vasectomy is supposed to take about 20 minutes. Mine took an hour and a half. Yeah, you just heard about 30 guys' thighs go, fuck. So, I'm lying there, everything's exposed, and you have to take a Valium, so my dad agreed to be my ride home that day. So, my ex-wife Tracy, she goes out to the waiting room and she's like, Hugh, he's just reading his magazine, there's been some complications. My dad didn't look up, finishes the page, flips it, finishes, I'm assuming, the paragraph, closes it, holy Paul, and goes right back to his magazine. That's how comfortable with the weird shit that goes on in my life people are used to. Of course, I couldn't stop myself from being a smartass. I've got a female doctor doing this procedure, I've got 2 female nurses in the room, and my ex-wife in there, and I'm like, honey, when was the last time I was lying down with my balls exposed and 4 women in the room? And this is one of the reasons why I married her. She just, without skipping a beat, it's been a while, honey. Yeah, it's been a while. Now, I said before we got a son, and one of the things is, like, you know, talking about vasectomies is, you know, sometimes there's a million reasons why you don't want to have another kid. One of the reasons I think a lot of people don't is they got an ugly fucking baby. Okay, who here has seen a baby of a friend or something like that and just went, what the fuck did you do, shit a monkey? Me and my ex-wife, we saw a friend of ours one time and they had this baby, I'm assuming, and as we're looking at the kid, it's like, you know, we're like, you don't want to say this is an ugly baby, so what did we say? You know, and then on the ride home, we're talking about it, it's like we noticed something. Ugly babies all have something in common. They've got like this big misshapen forehead, or like some weird strands of hair, or like these big freaking googly eyes. They just want to, like, you know, lunge out at you. And I looked at my ex-wife and said, Gollum! Ugly babies look like fucking Gollum! So now, whenever we see an ugly baby, and you can all use this. Oh, you got a precious child. That's a precious little baby you got right there. Oh, yeah, beautiful. So, and I'm glad to say though, you know, I've got a son and he's beautiful. People say you should get into modeling. I'm glad though the genetics has passed on. Because we're at one time and I ate a burrito or something, I'm farting up a lot. And we're heading back to his place because we're divorced now and he lives with his mom. And it's like, you know, okay, well Ryan, hey, let's go back to your place and all that stuff. And he's like, oh, sorry dude. And he's like, okay Dad, you know what? You can go hang out with Mom, I'm going to go hang out with my friends or something. It's like, son, you're cutting our time short. Don't you want to spend time in my scintillating company? And he just looked right in the eyes and goes, don't you mean scintillating, Dad? By the way, when I told my mom the ugly baby joke, she was like, Paul! And she looks like, you were a precious child, Paul. That's my time, Thanks.